And he never returned?
Never returned.
What happened though?
Water caught him. He got back.
Go missing, man.
Never find nothing.
And then one day he just disappears. And then
Every year, millions of people watch videos claiming the Bermuda Triangle is cursed, demonic, a portal to another dimension. But here's the thing, almost none of those videos show you what scientists, oceanographers, the US government actually say about it. Today, we are going to do something different. No demons, no aliens, no conspiracy theory. Just cold, hard science. And honestly, the real explanation is way more fascinating. So what's Bermuda Triangle actually is? The Bermuda Triangle, also called the Devil's Triangle, is roughly 500,000 square kilometer patch of Atlantic Ocean. Its three corners are Miami in Florida, San Juan in Puerto Rico, and the island of Bermuda. Reports of strange disappearance in this region go all the way back to the Christopher Columbus, who noted unusual compass reading and mysterious lights during his 1492 voyage through this area. But here's the first thing you need to know. The US government does not officially recognize this Bermuda Triangle. It doesn't appear on any official government map. The Coast Guard and the Department of Defense have repeatedly said that the area holds no special significance. The fact alone should tell you something. Now let's talk about something else. Is the disappearing rate even real? Before we get into this science, we need to confront the biggest myth of all, the idea that ships and planes disappear here at the alarming and unexplainable rate. In 1975, a researcher named Larry published a book called The Bermuda Triangle Mystery Solved. He did something nobody had ever done before. He went back and actually checked the records. Where he found was shocking, not because the disappearances were real, but because so many of them were exaggerated, inaccurate, and obviously completely made up. Some ships listed as vanished in the Bermuda Triangle actually sunk in completely different parts of the ocean. Others went down in violent storms that were conveniently left out of the story. So several incidents happened outside the triangle entirely. And here's the kicker. Lloyd's of London, one of the world's biggest insurance markets, does not charge higher premiums for ships traveling through the Bermuda Triangle. If it were truly dangerous, insurance companies who lived and die by risk data would know. So, the number of actual verified disappearances in the triangle is not significantly higher than any other heavily trafficked stretch of ocean in the world. But some real incidents did happen. So, what caused them? This is where the science gets interesting. Let's talk about the Gulf Stream, nature's eraser. One of the most powerful natural forces in this entire region is the Gulf Stream, a massive ocean current that flows out of the Gulf of Mexico right through the Bermuda Triangle area and up into the North Atlantic. This current moves fast, really fast enough to carry floating wreckage, a life jacket, a piece of hull, a cockpit door, dozens of miles away from where a ship actually sank in just a matter of few hours. So this is critical because no debris doesn't mean supernatural disappearance. It means the Gulf Stream moved it. When search team arrive and find nothing, it's not because the ship was swallowed by a portal. It's because the strongest ocean current in the Atlantic already swept everything away. Now another portion, the ocean floor, where the wreckage goes to hide. So pair the Gulf Stream with the triangle's extreme underwater geography and you have a recipe for permanent disappearance. The Bermuda Triangle sits above some of the deepest underwater trenches on Earth. The Puerto Rico Trench, just at the edge of the triangle. It is the deepest point in the entire Atlantic Ocean, going down to about 8,376 meters. That's nearly 5.2 miles of water. When a ship or a plane sinks into the water that deep, finding it is almost impossible, even with modern sonar technology. What looks like a mysterious disappearance is often just physics. Metal sinks, currents carry debris, and the deep ocean keeps its secret. Now, a lot of people maybe don't know, but there are 100-foot walls of water exist that is called rock waves. Here's one of that. Sounds like science fiction, but it's absolutely terrifyingly real. Rock waves. For centuries, sailors reported occasional monster waves. Walls of water raising up to 100 feet of seamlessly calming seas. For a long time, scientists thought these were just sea legends. Then, in 1995, instruments on an oil platform in the North Sea recorded a wave over 25 meters high. Rod waves were officially confirmed to exist. Dr. Simon of the University of Southampton has noted that the Bermuda Triangle sits in the zone where multiple storm systems from the Gulf of Mexico, the Ecuador, and the Mid-Atlantic can converge. When storm generated, waves from different directions meet and combine. They can amplify into a single massive wave. British researchers simulated what a 100-foot rod wave would do to a cargo ship. A vessel long enough could get caught suspended between two wave peaks with nothing supporting its middle, and see, snaps in half. In seconds, no radio call, no wreckage visible from above, just gone. Is there definitive proof that rod waves caused specific Bermuda Triangle disappearance? Not yet, but the physics is sound and the geography makes it possible. Do you know about the air bombs from the sky? That is called hexagonal clouds. In 2026, meteorologists saying NASA satellite imaginary noticed something strange over the Bermuda Triangle. Hexagonal-shaped cloud formations with unusual straight edges. Dr. Steve Miller, a satellite meteorologist at Colorado State University, pointed out that straight-edged clouds are highly unusual. Most clouds formations are random and irregular. This weren't. Meteorologist Randy explained that this mechanism, these hexagonal clouds, appeared to be signatures of microblasts, which is powerful blast of cold air that shoot downwards from the base of a cloud, hit the ocean surface, and fan outwards at extreme speeds. These air blasts can generate waves and winds in excess of 170 miles per hour. Similar hexagonal patterns have been spotted over the North Sea, where they have been associated with massive waves and violent winds. The same phenomenon over the Bermuda Triangle region, where air traffic and sea lanes are both active, could theoretically bring down aircraft and swarm vessels with very little warning. Okay, but this is still developing theory and needs more observation and data, but it is a completely natural and well-understood meteorological mechanism. Let's decode one of the most complex and famous theories, compass variation, a navigation trap. Many of the classic Bermuda Triangle stories involve compasses going haywire or pilots getting completely disoriented. So what actually happened? Or most likely happening? The Earth has two norths, true north, which is geographical, and the magnetic north, where your compass actually points. These 2 points are about 1,500 miles apart. In most of the world, navigators must apply a correction called magnetic declination to account for this difference. But there are special lines on Earth called agonic lines, where magnetic north and true north happen to perfectly align, no correction needed. The Bermuda Triangle region has historically sat near one of these lines. Now, the problem is an experienced navigator who forgets to apply the standard correction in these areas where declination does apply, right near the triangle. Will drift, of course, gradually without realizing it, and the agonic line itself drifts about 0.2 degrees westward per year, meaning its position keeps changing and adding another layer of confusion. No supernatural force required, just a compass doing exactly what compasses do in a region where navigational precision matters enormously. Oh, do you know about the ships that could shrink instantly? That is behind something called methane hydrates. This theory is one of the most dramatic and one of the most debated. Scientists at Cardiff University discovered large concentrations of methane hydrates trapped in the ocean floor sediments beneath the Bermuda Triangle regions. These are essentially frozen pockets of methane gas locked in ice-like structures under extreme pressure. Let's talk about the theory. If a large pocket of methane suddenly releases due to underwater landslides or like pressure changes, it could send a massive burst to low density as saturated water surging into the surface. A ship sailing over this would suddenly find itself floating on something more like foam than water. Without the buoyancy, it could sink almost instantly with no time for distress call. Lab experiments have confirmed this mechanism is physically impossible. However, this is important. The US Geographical Survey has found no evidence of significant methane releases in the Bermuda Triangle area over the past 15,000 years. So while the physics works, there is no direct evidence it has actually happened there. But according to science, it's honest about what we don't know yet. So now, the weather, the most mundane and most lethal explanation. Perhaps the most straightforward explanation for many triangle incidents is simply this. The weather is brutal, and it's used to be completely unpredictable. The Bermuda Triangle sits in the region known for hurricanes. The Atlantic hurricane season runs June through November, and the triangle is directly in many storm paths. Just like sudden squalls, violent storms that form rapidly with almost no warning. Water spurts, essentially tornadoes over water. Thermoclines, dramatic temperature changes between ocean layers that affect aircraft flying low over the water. Before modern satellite, weather forecasting, GPS navigation, pilots and ship's captains had very limited tools. A storm that we had easily rerouted around today could have been completely invisible to someone flying in 1945. Let's talk about one of the most famous incidents, Flight 19 in 1945, where 5 US Navy torpedo bombers vanished. It is the event that started the whole triangle legend. The investigation found the most likely cause was a combination of navigational confusion, fuel exhaustion, and deteriorating weather. The flight leader's compass was malfunctioning. They flew in a wrong direction and ran out of fuel over open ocean at night. A tragedy certainly, but a human and mechanical one, not a supernatural one. So, what science is actually saying to us? So, here's where we land after all this. The Bermuda Triangle is a heavily trafficked, geographically complex stretch of ocean, with powerful currents, extraordinary depth, violent weathers, and navigational challenges, and several natural mechanisms that can cause rapid, evidence-erasing disasters. The number of disappearances here is not exceptional. The stories have been exaggerated for decades, and every incident, when properly investigated, has a rational explanation, even if we don't always know exactly which one applies in each case. That's not a letdown, that's science being honest. The real ocean with rogue waves that can snap a ship in half, with currents that erase evidence in hours, with microblasts that generates 170 mph wind, is more powerful and more terrifying than any demons or portals. So here is the conclusion. You don't need the supernatural to explain the Bermuda Triangle. You just need to respect the sea. Let me tell you, the truth is always more interesting. If you found this video valuable, share it with someone who only ever seen the conspiracy version. And if you want more videos where we replace myth with actual science, subscribe.